Hello, BookTube. I is back. And I've only got a short amount of time, so I thought I'd just do another What's on My Shelf video. I think it's part four. I could be wrong, but I think it's part four. And I'm still on this shelf. And it's all non-fiction, folks. I'm sorry, but I know some of you have pointed out, like, oh, go through the Game of Thrones and Malazan and the Realm of the Elderlings and the Wheel of Time and all your graphic novels and manga up there. But I need to defeat this shelf. And come on, some of this non-fiction on this shelf is mwah, it's chef's kiss like so. And I'm looking at the books and silly me, I can't remember where I left off. I think on the last one I did talk about a woman of no importance, about a secret American agent going undercover in Vichy, France. I think it did, didn't I? I remember it. So the next one must be this. So I love me some Bill Bryson. I do. This is One Summer by Bill Bryson. This is probably one of my favourite Bill Brysons. If you don't know who Bill Bryson is, he usually does travelogues and he does a bit of history and biography as well. But he delivers it in such a sometimes sarcastic, funny way. But he's very popular, is Bill Bryson, and there's a reason why there's a reason why it's popular, because his books are really easily digestible. They are. It's right up my street. It really is. So One Summer is about America. It's a snapshot of history in America. I think it's 1927, is it? Yeah, it's 1927. So a lot was going on in America in 1927. So, the stock market was going insane. Everybody was having a good time. The likes of Al Capone was haunting the place, and the television was invented in 1927. So it's just looking at America just in that year and summertime and at the summertime as well, and just delivered in typical Bill Bryson sarky way of everything that was going on culturally in 1927. You should read it. It's a really good book, and it's probably one of my favourite Bill Brysons. Okay, this is a bit of a weird one. This is Ned Palmer. This is A Cheesemonger's History to the British Isles. I love me cheese, I really do. Even like the cheese what turns people's stomach, like I can eat it. Chef's kiss. So this is literally what's his name? Isn't Ned going around the UK and just going up to all these different counties that deliver all these weird cheeses, and it's given a bit of history of how the cheese is made and where it came from, but also a bit of history around the village that was making this cheese. And yes, some of the cheeses come across, I'm like, oh, I would absolutely destroy a bollock of that. I do love my cheeses, I really do. Even the likes of Stinking Bishop, which I've tried, which I think is it's a creamy cheese, stronger than if you're from the UK, it's stronger than Dairy Lee, but it's got that consistency, but it stinks. It does whiff a bit, but I think it's tasty. So yeah, that's who's it? Ned Palmer, A Cheesemonger's History to the British Isles. Okay, another bit of British history. This is Barrett. Yeah, W.B. Barrett. This is Richard the Lionheart, the Crusader King of England. It's exactly what it says in the tin. This is a biography of Richard Lionheart about his bloodthirst. He always wanted to be at a state of war, and he's lauded for being one of England's most notorious great kings, but he hardly spent any time in England at all. He was mostly in France and crusading. But also it tells the story of what was going on at England as well when he was off on crusades. His brother John trying to raise up a rebellion because he wanted to be a king against Richard. But the author does a very good job here of delivering who Richard actually was. Complete frankness as well. So this is Richard of Lionheart by W.B. Barrett. If you're interested in your British monarchy, and it's not that thick either, to be honest, about 300 pages, pick up this. It's a good book. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3. That's 3 done. The next one. I try my hardest to understand this subject matter. I think 10% sticks in and the rest of it goes away. So this is Michio Kaku, who's a parallel world. Yeah, so Michio Kaku is a physicist, and this is him trying to explain, the Big Bang, quantum theory, and then parallel worlds, and it does get mathematical. But I've got a few Michio Kaku books, I think, unless I've got rid of them because I'm just trying to face up to reality that I don't understand them. But yeah, this is probably one of these kind of books. It's like Marmite, isn't it? I love stuff like that, but I'm not going to read that. But yeah, this is his assumptions of where science is going, where physics is going, and what may be beyond the horizon. Yeah, so if you've read Michio Kaku before, pick up Parallel Worlds because it is readable. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's try the top one. What's this? Oh, this is Chris Hedges. War is a force that gives us meaning. Tiny book. Chris Hedges is a correspondent. He's a journalist, and he's been to war-torn countries all over the world. And this is basically his writing of war gives humanity meaning, but not in a good way, like it's good, but it's basically how war corrupts not just an individual, but it corrupts society in general, and how humans can be bloodthirsty. So that's what this book is about, and I think it's immensely readable. I do like Chris Hedges. I keep on having to count them every time I put one down, so that's 5, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next one is a chunker. It's an absolute chunker, right up my street. This is David Reynolds and Vladimir Pechenkov. I hope I've said that right. Obviously, it's Russian. This is the Kremlin letters. So this is great. This is looking at the correspondence between these three guys here. So you got FDR, you got Stalin, and Churchill, the three leaders of the Allies in World War II, and it's basically looking at their letters and how they're trying to, convince each other. Because FDR and Churchill were basically holding the fingers that Stalin didn't blink, and he just kept on pouring more and more armies and munitions at the Germans, while the Americans and the Brits, were ready to do D-Day. So this is looking at the letters between all of them, and how sometimes they went behind each other's back to try and work together and get the other person out of the picture. Yeah, this is a fascinating read. This is, if you're a World War II fan, but don't be put off by the size of it as well. It is a really, really immense read, but it really is good, and you get a feeling of what all three of them thought of each other, and what you feel, what they were as a person as well, how they wrote. So Kremlin Letters, really, really good book. Okay, that's 6. Okay, next one. Is this Peter Godfrey Smith? This is Othermind. So this is the octopus, and basically the evolution of the octopus, and how the octopus is known to be very, very weird in the animal kingdom. So, and this is just looking at the history of the octopus and how it got to that point. This is a immense read. It's really good. I put on a kind of same way as, I think Simon Montgomery's done another book on the same flavour. I think it's called The Soul of an Octopus. I can't see the book. I don't know if I've got rid of it. But yeah, I'm fascinated by octopuses anyway, but this is a really, really well done book about octopus history, their nature, their ecology, and the evolutionary. But yeah, fantastic book. Okay, this is Michael here, and this is Dispatches. This is a really, really well-known book about Vietnam. This is another same flavour as the Chris Hedges one. He's a war correspondent, and he's basically writing about what he saw in Vietnam. This is a really, really, I think this is an important read, to be honest with you. I think it's fascinating, and it's written as it's written like an article kind of a way, if you catch me drift here. But this is war in all its brutality in a book here. This is pretty blunt and in your face journalism, and I think it's really, really good. This is Michael Hare, Dispatches. Okie dokie, I think that's, what is it? 8, right? 8. Oh, nice. I've completely forgot about this book. So this is Brett Westwood and Stephen Moss. This is Wonderland. I do love that book cover. So this is looking at all like insects and the little tiny mammals and badgers and whatnot across the British Isles. And it's basically, you know, at what point, and it's not just animals, I think it's also plant life and stuff like that. And it's basically given a little bit about the, you know, how they live, their ecology again, all that kind of stuff, and what time of the year you're more likely to see them. And no, here we go. So you got, that's the stag beetle, and it's only like a page and a half. The stag beetle, well, not just a page really, and it's just literally hundreds on hundreds of species. I remember reading this on the train, you know, just picking up a couple of insects or, you know, plants at a time, and just reading about them. And, you know, I was like, oh, I didn't know we had that in the UK. But yeah, this is a really well done book, and they really know the subject matter here. I thought it was really good. Okay, I believe this is last but not least. What an absolutely fantastic book. This is Barbara Demick, and this is Nothing to Envy. This is, again, this is another correspondent book. This is the author, and she goes to South Korea and interviews the North Korean defectors over there. This is brutal. This is a brutal book, and it's well researched, and she's a fantastic writer. Out of every book here, you should read this book. It is fascinating how the people of North Korea live their lives, because being a Western journalist trying to report within North Korea is pretty much impossible, and it's quite hard to probably back up some of the things that the defectives say, because how can you? But yeah, this is a fascinating read, and you really should read it, folks, because it is good. And again, it's not about 300 pages or whatever it is, but yeah, fantastic book about North Korean defectors and how they lived their lives in North Korea, and how, you know, they worshipped King Jong-un, and thought, you know, they could read he could read the minds and all that, and it's a fascinating read. So that's Nothing to Envy by Barbara Demick. And folks, I think that's it. All 10 books done there, and I've just passed the halfway point on this bookshelf. But the good thing is, the books down there are quite sizable, so I reckon maybe I can run one more video and just go over 10 books, and that's that one done then. And I'll jump onto a more, you know, a fantasy shelf or something like that, or a science fiction shelf. The problem being, though, a lot of my fantasy series are all stuck together. So the Wheel of Time is basically, I know you can't see my hands, it's basically that big of a chunk. Do you really want me to drag the eye of the wheel down and then the grey horns and describe what's going on, or just pull the whole Wheel of Time down? So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that, folks, and that is 10 more books that's on my non-fiction shelf. See you later, BookTube.